Yeah, I mean, if the play was just a scout to CME, then you had a TP, right? Move stops up. Even if your trade was
Talk
to the
about
top of the
bigger line.
range, you gotta bring those stops up. Especially going into Monday, guys. Like one thing I want y'all to remember is as positive as the move looks, that fake move, there's still an expiration date on Monday night. It doesn't have to happen. Sometimes it doesn't. But we've seen it run it so many times into Monday night that it's like you have to be careful.
Exactly. I was smelling it too. That's why when I came on here, I was like, I didn't take the trade.
Yeah, we were talking about it last night, right? We said if there's a high or low, then you would have a type 2 entry. But if you don't see that volume come in on that high or low,
And I didn't even take that
then
either.
you got to be careful. Nah, there was literally no type 2 entry. This thing just that thing just
It's
went.
like screw that. I saw that. I was like, man, I'm good. And
At least it happened like that. It would have been worse if it held support, tricked people into a high or low, and then ripped it, right? But this didn't give you an opportunity to even think about jumping in.
uh, and I didn't even close another. But I was still at 18 shorts. I didn't even budge.
So this is the China news here. Um, we can let me go ahead and put it on the chart
Oh, kinda, huh?
for timing. Yeah, but it's not. Usually China news is just we're gonna do this, rumors of this, but they literally shut down 400,000 mining rigs last night. The theory is that they're trying to put all their energy towards AI,
Funny.
and they had to shut down some of their rigs to increase the capacity of the network. Is
Yeah. And the next thing,
well,
crypto's banned again. It's a billionth time in a row.
you know, sometimes we look at news and we're like, what came first, the price of the news? It could it just be, whatever. This is where they shut down, right at the top of the dump.
It's comedy at this point.
Put down hit Bitcoin. That was this morning.
Yeah, that was well, it
It's on the
started being
bearish.
reported at like 5:30 in the morning. I'm gonna take a look at the hash rate itself and see if we can see where it dropped off a cliff at.
This doesn't look good.
Oh, it doesn't care about borders. That's funny.
What is our thesis here? Like, is this even redeemable?
I mean, honestly, I think you should have seen worse than that. In the past, if you would have had that many miners go offline, we would have seen serious, serious drawdown. A lot of the
Yeah, maybe
nerds
the growth.
online are basically saying the fact that we're still up is like a feather in the hat of decentralization. We're just gonna pick up that hash rate is all it means. All it means is that the difficulty becomes less for other miners. But the question is why? Right? Is it a lack of faith in Bitcoin, or is it like I said, making trying to increase the capacity for their AI?
Both
How are
mean
liquidations a
something
distraction
completely
when
different,
liquidation?
right?
Yeah, I'm looking into it right now. I'm just sort of digging into some of the reports now that some time has passed by.
Well, I guess what I mean is we dropped out of that bear flag.
Yeah.
So I mean, something spectacular would have to happen to get me back on board with the bullish side.
Well, yeah, you'd have to get back into the range, obviously. If we get a bearish retest to the bottom of that flag, then we know what time it is. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, short-term technical shock. Yeah, people are really two ways about it, and honestly, both of them have a decent point.
What is that line that you have drawn there where the candle closed above?
There.
Like it looks like it kind of found support on that line you have on your chart there, where
Oh, down
you
here.
got candles closing above that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just old support. This was the SR flip from the first W that popped us. This range, though, is really what we're looking at, right? Okay. That's been our trading range this entire time. Right, we've had deviations above, had deviations below, right? And each time they've come back into the range, been accepted, and come back to the bottom of the channel. Another deviation above. Now we have to see, right? If this breaks down, if this retests and breaks down, then it's a breakdown. If it pops up and comes back into the range, then it's just, yeah, another deviation. But yeah, this is our flag, and that would be our retest. Right, so getting back above that is crucial for the next week. Gonna make for some bad price action for the week if we can't get back above. Hash rate went down 8% overnight.
Quite that big, but how much do we drop since market open? Almost 5%.
This is dumb. I hate when Twitter does this shit. It's like this shit's going on now, and then this guy wants to post this video from 2021 of the Malaysian government running over miners. It's like, cool story, bro. Cool video. What the hell does that have to do with today?
So assuming this is we got tricked last night, like we got duped, and then this is the false move. Like, could we still see a 3-day up?
This whole thing is the false move.
Range, you think?
This false move has an expiration date of Monday. I don't care if that false move happens on Sunday, if it happens on Saturday. Until Monday night, you have the possibility of going lower on the false move. Now, our question is that what this was? Right? Was this a further move down for the false move, or was this what it looks like, which is a reaction to China shutting down miners? Right? One is market maker led, the other one isn't. We'll have the answer pretty soon if that makes anybody feel any better, though. I don't think it'll take too long to retest. Whether it holds or not is going to be the issue.
Shit, now I forgot what I was gonna ask. This reminds me of like May of 2022, to be real. except that like when we broke down that bear flag, but we got a relief rally, like that was pretty substantial. When you look at the chart and zoom out, we really haven't gotten a decent move up
No,
in
that's
the
my
last
whole
few
thesis
months.
for why I'm even. That's the only reason I'm even looking for longs. If it wasn't for that, I would be settling in. Yeah, long term, yeah, see him. But you got to remember, like, there's an effect that it has in real time, right? It's gonna create what would be considered in crypto a supply shock, right? Supply shock is gonna bring fears. Fears are gonna cause miners to sell some Bitcoin to cover their costs, and it also, makes people freak out, right? So the effect should be temporary, but temporary could be a month, 2 months, yo. But yeah, eventually US and other miners will pick up that hash rate, making mining less difficult for them, right? And it'll balance out. There's such an over concentration of miners in China that not necessarily a bad thing. If we're talking about price, yes, it's a bad thing. We're talking about the future of the actual network. Not a horrible thing that we break some of that up. No one country or one entity should be able to decide to stop mining and affect Bitcoin like this. Because we haven't had a relief rally, Musa.
We have had a stopping volume candle on the 15.5 in 1 minute. Haven't gotten invalidated yet.
Yeah, we got a little one
But
on
it
the
looks
5 minute here.
sketchy.
Little stop me volume candle on the 5.
All three. 1, 5, and 15. The 15-minute ad actually got that bullish candle afterwards, that bullish engulfing after.
No, Neo, not in chat. I mean, in Discord, you can post pics though. Yeah, on the small scale, yeah. You just got your type 2 entry on the 1 minute, 5 minute. It's important to not let one day of price action change your thesis, especially if you haven't broke structure. It's not easy, but you've got to be able to balance the macro and the micro in your mind at the same time. said it before, I'll say it again. Until we're above 98K, above that 50 EMA on the weekly, every single move is to be faded and defended against. Right? Meaning, if it pops, you take profit. If you're not going to take profit, you have to defend it with stop losses. You have to move your stop losses into profit when you're in profit. You can't leave anything up to chance because we're still in that rescue boat range. Right? Till we get above 98, we're still firmly in the rescue boat range. You guys remember what I was talking about, the timing? When did this dump happen? What time did I tell you that we've been dumping every Monday? Anybody remember? Yep, 10 a.m. When did this drop come in? Started at 9:30. We've had pretty coordinated sell-offs at 10 on Mondays.
So does it seem like market makers in control, or did the whales just like freaking slap it out of his hands?
That's the question. If this dump really comes from the Chinese miners, then it's not market maker. Right? If there was literally no miner story today, if there was no news at all, this would still be expected for the false move down. But we can't ignore that. Right? Because what if we just go into the camp and say, no, false move down. It was supposed to be, it's within the expiration date, and we ignore this, and then tomorrow we have increased contagion, right? Starts to roll over again. So we can't do that. We've got to take both things in consideration. Was it against the market makers' motivations? No, because we can put in another low on Monday. Was this their idea? Probably not. Probably not. If I had to guess, which all we can do is guess, right? We can't be in the market maker's brain, but yeah, it's a supply shock in the long run. I'd say yes for sure. What we're dealing with is the initial freak out. I mean, for America's plan to become the crypto capital or whatever the hell it is that we keep saying, um, this isn't a bad thing. Right? You want to take some of that hash rate and bring some of that hash rate back into the country. For investors, it's like, bruh, you know? Just got to play it out, guys. You got to play the chart that we see. And don't lose that patience that kept you here this long, right? Very important.
I'm scared, man. I'm scared.
That's a pretty common emotion right now, I would imagine.
Well, not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're supposed to buy when you're scared, right?